Good afternoon, and you're very welcome to Fedamore for this afternoon's Nick Green Sports Ground Limerick Intermediate Hurling Championship Final. My own name is Tom Clancy, and I'm delighted to say it. I'm joined by my good old sparring buddy and Matt O'Callaghan of the Weekly Observer and Vale Star newspapers. Matt, the weather is not here, but we have two fantastic teams that have reached this final, two unbeaten teams in the form of Murroe Boher and Bruree.
Yeah, we have two fantastic teams, and I suppose, Tom, two teams that deserve to be here because both teams top their respective groups, which suggests, and they're here unbeaten, which is it's rare enough in these type of competitions where you have group stages. But certainly the two form teams are here. The pitch, as you know, where we're standing here, Tom, is in perfect condition. I think the rain might stay off for a while. Now, there is a strong breeze blowing down here to the left, which may impact on the game to some degree. It certainly will impact. It could be a 4 or 5 point win, but otherwise everything is set for what should be a classic game. And of course, we look back to last year, Tom, when these two sides met twice last year, and in the final game of the group stages, at a stage when Murroe Boher had already qualified, and Bruree beat him on that occasion, and they met him again in the semi-final and beat him. So Bruree will have a certain level of confidence coming into this game.
It sure will. Bruree were in the final last year, as you say. There's a handful of teams down the years have managed to come back and win it again, but in fairness to Bruree, they've shown no signs of relenting in their quest to get back up to Premier Intermediate. And we must credit Murroe Boher as well, because a couple of years ago things were looking bleak. A couple of slides down from senior down to intermediate. They've really steadied. They've already won an under 16A title today, so things are looking up for Murroe Boher as well.
Oh, absolutely, and full credit. We have to admire Murroe Boher for what they're doing at underage, because they're competing at the top level at underage at Premier against the big teams of Napiershik, the Mungrets, the Ballybrowns of this world, the Monleans of this world, and they're mixing it with them. And as you said, they won the under 16A already today, so that'll give you an idea of the amount of work that's going on in Murroe Boher. And right, they suffered two relegations in quick succession, and it took them a bit of time to bottom out. Their first season down was poor. Last season they showed signs of making a full recovery, and have they shown signs this year.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, well, we're not too far away from throwing. We'll be back with team news shortly. Perfect.
Treaty County Trucking, your local experts in national and international haulage. Best of luck to Murroe Boher in the final from all at Treaty County Trucking. Call 086 855 0167 or email office@treatycounty.ie.
Dennis Homes Fitted Furniture, family run and serving the Midwest since 1996. Quality design, expert craftsmanship and service you can trust. Call 061 386 221 to book an appointment and visit our showroom. Dennis Homes Fitted Furniture, where design meets perfection.
The Valley Inn Murroe, a proud family-run pub at the heart of the village since 1953. Family-friendly and catering for all occasions, birthdays, christenings, communions and more. Call 087 975 3591. The Valley Inn Murroe, where good times are always on tap.
Give your calves the best start to life with Country Calf Lac from Country Nutrition. With 23% protein, 22% fat and 50% skim-based dairy proteins, it's the perfect balance for healthy growth and shine. Country Nutrition, raising strong, healthy calves across Ireland. Call 087 671 2570 or email w.walsh@countrynutrition.ie.
Custom sportswear and workwear by Bruree Sports in Ennis and Shannon. From clubs and schools to local businesses, we design quality gear that looks sharp and lasts. Bruree Sports Ennis and Shannon, custom made for your team, your work, your game. Call us now on 061 364 750.
Okay, you're very welcome back to Fedamore. We're just about limbering up towards the start of this Limerick Intermediate Hurling Championship final. We'll just take a look at the teams. Thankfully the rain is holding off. I know Matt and myself got a couple of drops earlier on, but no such sign of it at the moment. The wind blowing from left to right on your screens. We'll take a look at the teams, and we'll start with the men in white with the blue sash. That is Bruree, and the Bruree side shows one change from the one that was submitted to the county board this week. They start with Fionn O'Brien in goal. Shane Feen, Kevin Hayden and William Sexton make up the full back line. Jimmy Leslie Madigan is at half back, as too is Conor Frawley, with Tommy Cronley anchoring the team from 6 at centre back. The midfield pairing is Patrick Deedy and captain Sam Williams. Williams wearing number 17, coming in place of number 9, Brian Sexton. The half-forward line sees Paddy Lynch, Kieran O'Dea and Dara McDonough. The inside line sees Michael Lane, Jimmy O'Dea and vice-captain and scorer-in-chief Sam Cronley. The management team is headed up by David O'Dea, and he's joined by Emmett Morrissey and James Vincent O'Brien. Their coach for this one is John Toohey, which is a link back to 2006 when Bruree won the Limerick Senior Hurling Championship. Taking a look now at the men from the east, that of course is Murroe Boher. Murroe Boher side is captained by Dara Kennedy, and they line out with a Quaid in goals. That's Killian Quaid. He is full back line in front of him is Owen Burke, Killian Burns and Ewan Sheridan. The half back line sees captain Dara Kennedy, joined by Oisin Holmes and Finn Hourigan. The midfield pairing is Jack Nicholas and Dylan Sheehan. In the half-hour line is the first of two Michael Ryans. That's Michael Ryan Ned, and he's joined by Darren Colopy and David Hickey. In the inside line is Michael Ryan Madabody, and he's joined also by number 14 Shawnee Tobin, and completing the lineup is number 15 Mark Nicholas. The team is managed by James Butler, who's assisted by Kevin Tobin, Owen Toohey and Connor Early. The wind, as I say, blowing from left to right here. The crowd filtering in lovely into Fettermore. This is the first of 5 streamed games brought to you on Limerick GATV this weekend in association with Stream Sport. And from 3 p.m. we will have the second of this afternoon's contest. That will see Doon face Knockaderry in the Woodlands House Hotel and Spa Premier Junior Hurling Championship final. John Keogh and Leo O'Connor bringing you that one from 3 p.m. And at 6 p.m. Castletown Ballyagran will face Temple Glanton in the Woodlands House Hotel Junior A Hurling Championship final. A big game for all those, for those 4 sides, and indeed the 2 in front of us here. And then tomorrow from 1 p.m. we will have the Lions of Limerick Premier Intermediate Hurling Championship final. That is between Gary Spillane and Effin at All South Clash. And then the big game of the weekend, the 3:30 p.m. throw-in between Napirsig and Doon in a repeat of the 2024 Limerick Senior Hurling Championship final. So that's the 5 games that we are bringing you this weekend. You don't have to move anywhere if you have your season pass, indeed your weekend pass, or else buying an individual game. You can get stuck into all of the action. And just looking, team sheets being sorted. The referee for this one hails from South Limerick. It's Johnny Murphy from the Glenrue, I suppose, hurling club, and of course a Ballylanders man as well himself. So the final pieces of paperwork being done for this one. We're about 3.5 minutes away from throwing, and Johnny will be ably assisted by his team of officials here this afternoon as going through the final paces now. These sides, the paths to the final have been unblemished for both sides. If you're looking at Bruree, well, it's been a very impressive run to date. They started their campaign with 431 to 18 points victory over now relegated Croom. They've backed that up with a comfortable enough victory over Fina in round 2. In round 2 it was Hospital Herberstown, round 3 it was Fina, then Mungret St. Paul's and Cappamore to make it 5 from 5 in the group, moving them in to a semi-final. And in that semi-final they had a 219 to 212 victory over Fiona Castleman, and so on the run so far there's been 10 goals scored for Bruree and 127 points in those 6 outings. Final photo call for referee Johnny Murphy, and his officials, Mike Mead as well is there, Patsy Coffey and Martin Doherty are his officials, as well as a quartet of umpires serving him here this afternoon. Looking at Murroe Boher's run, that also contains 5 games in the group and a semi-final, so perfect 6 for them as well. They started out with a 24 points to 116 victory over Palace Green, and went on then to beat Fiona Castleman by 319 to 211 in round 2. Rounds 3, 4 and 5 also went their way. That was against the Piershig, Knockany and St. Kieran's, and they were comfortable 318 to 15 points victors over the Piershig. Decided they had beaten already in the championship. Of course, that was in the semi-final. So you're talking about goals, 14 goals for them in their 6 outings. So we can expect a green flag or 2 here this afternoon. Final words of wisdom being dished out to Bruree, as you'll see, and a big party, I suppose, of players from both clubs, naming 35 players on their panels for this one. Final words of wisdom. Bruree came into this final last year against Crow Kilfinney, and the experience, I'm sure, will have done them no harm. There's the captains, Dara Kennedy on your left, and to his right, alongside Johnny Murphy, is Sam Williams. As let's just see who wins the toss and which way they're going. And it looks like Bruree are going to play with the aid of the breeze in this first half. They won the toss, so they will be shooting from left to right in this opening stanza. We're just a few seconds away. A huge crowd filing in for this one, and in fairness to Fettermore, they've pulled out all the stops. The pitch in immaculate condition, the ground's cut back to allow for supporters, and pitch duly marked as well, so credit where it's due, as we stand now for a minute's silence and indeed the national anthem. So that minute's silence in memory of the late Tom O'Rourke, father of Kieran O'Rourke, part of the Bruree side here this afternoon. And also at this juncture we remember John Cronley, who recently passed, father of both Tommy and Sam, as now we stand for Aran Naveen here in Fettermore. So we're all set to go for this Limerick Intermediate Hurling Championship final, sponsored by Nick Green Sports Ground. Bruree going to be playing from left to right. Matt, that wind is considerable, as you said, and Bruree with the advantage of it in this opening half.
Yeah, it's considerable, Tom. As I said, it's about a 3 out of 4 point game. Actually, out centre field it seems to be a bit stronger than in here at this side, but certainly it's worth a bit, and Bruree will need to turn over with a 3 or 4 pointed, 5 point advantage.
Yeah, they've won the toss, so Sam Williams electing to shoot in that direction in this first half. Big crowd in for this one, and Johnny Murphy gets us underway in the 2025 Lions of Limerick Intermediate Hurling Championship final, and immediately the ball is in to Shawnee Tobin, and Tobin puts the brakes on, flicking it off his left over the bar. Well, class is permanent, and inside 20 seconds Shawnee Tobin gets the scoring underway.
Absolutely, class is permanent, and he had a bit of work to do because he was out a bit from goal, but the ball was played in beautifully to him. A great start from Murroe Boher. Yeah,
just exactly what the doctor orders. The puck out, you can see, carries very long, goes deep inside that Murroe Boher defensive line as Oisín Holmes clears his lines, but only at the expense of a line ball. And line ball which Bruree will line up, and it's going to be the aforementioned Sam Connolly. Matt, a difficult week for the Connellys, but great to see the lads lining out here for their club today.
Absolutely. I spoke with the two lads before the game, and in the circumstances it's difficult, but they are up for it. Now Sam cut that one across the goal, but normally he is pretty good and pretty sharp at line balls.
Yeah, line balls, place balls, and from play. You'll see plenty of Sam here this afternoon as Killian Quaid gets his first puck out of the afternoon. Son of Joe Quaid, of course, in the latter part of his grown career, lined out for Murroe Boher, helped them up to senior when they won this grade all the way back in 1999. The ball with Mark Nicholas, sending it in dangerously in around the house as Fionn O'Brien reads it and tidies it up, sweeps it up the field, and there's a touch on it there from Michael Lane, and first flash of the ash sees the ball find its way to Murroe Boher as they work it outside to this near flank, and it's David Hickey with that I suppose glove on his left hand. Hickey shortens his grip but is blocked. Owen Burke there to pick up the pieces. Early energy good from Murroe Boher, although the delivery is not the greatest as the ball is swept up the field by Tommy Connolly, looking deep into the attacking place for his brother, that's Sam, but he's beaten to it by Ewan Sheridan. Sheridan's clearance not the greatest, and first chance for Bruree, great block down there, and already we've seen plenty of defensive quality at both ends, as well as that early Shawnee Tobin point as David Hickey gets on it again. Hickey with his head up, lovely diagonal ball, inviting one for a forward, and this is Darren Colopy. Colopy pays to burn. Colopy spins away off his right. Has he put it in? He has. The umpires like it. And Darren Colopy, we talk about Sam Connolly as being a sharpshooter. Darren Colopy is exactly that too.
Absolutely, Tom. He was an excellent with Limerick Minors, and of course he played colleges hurling with Newport and played in the colleges final last year, Munster colleges final. Darren Colopy is a scorer.
He sure is, as the ball works its way to Michael Lane, and Lane has not been able to bring it in from the tightest of angles. So the first, I suppose, real shot from play for Bruree is a wayward one.
Mikey Lane, of course, Tom, is a survivor of the 2006 team.
He's a thriver, Matt, not a survivor.
Yeah, there are two of them here. Kieran O'Rourke, as you said, who you already said lost his dad during the week, and Mikey Lane.
Yeah, well, great to see the connections back to that glorious afternoon when they defeated Patrickswell to bring home the Daily Cup to Bruree. And they're looking for another famous victory here as they get their first free of the afternoon as a push in the back, says Johnny Murphy. And Sam Connolly will trot his way out to line this one up.
Not an ideal first free in a county final. It's difficult, but what a confidence booster were he to get it.
Absolutely, and it would lift the crowd too, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, but knowing Sam, he's quite capable of doing it, Tom.
He is just on that football, I suppose, halfway line as Johnny Murphy just ushering Dylan Sheehan to come back. So a hush descends upon Fettermore as Connolly lines it up from the centre of the field and gets plenty of height on it. The accuracy is not there though, and it has gone to the left and wide, so yet to settle our Bruree, and as Matt said, a difficult opening task for Connolly there.
Free takers like to get one that they can pot.
Yeah, maybe 20-25 metres maybe just to get the
feel of it and get the idea of where the goal is exactly. Now Tommy will be disappointed with that.
As well as breaking onto the ball is Sam Williams, involved in the UL Fitzgibbon Cup winning side earlier in the spring of this year, so he's playing at a very high level already this season. As the line ball is being lined up, but what a day it would be for Murroe Boher, as well as that under 16A title where they defeated in the Piershig by a single point. If they could add one here at intermediate level, it would be huge for the club. Dylan Sheehan, it's a great cut on it. Reading it there is Tommy Connolly, and he spoons it off. Is there a shot from the middle of the field? It's Kieran O'Dea, and O'Dea likes it. Well, we're looking for a sight where he didn't even need to look at the post. Kieran O'Dea opens the shoulders, and just inside 5.5 minutes, it's the first score for Bruree.
An excellent score by Kieran O'Dea. Of course, he's been a long time around this Bruree team and has been a prolific scorer, and he just gave one look up and knew exactly where to put it, and I think the umpires had no doubt about it, Tom.
Yeah, Darren Colopy shows his quality, gets on it, dishes it back to Dylan Sheehan, and Sheehan inside looking for Mark Nicholas. Nicholas going to win the race, but there's strength in numbers back there, and Nicholas eventually chaps down Tommy Cronley, and Cronley kind of playing a little bit in a free role. He's trying to cover off that kind of square in front of Shawnee Tobin and the inside line. So it's an important role he's playing this afternoon.
It is, and he's sitting. For a centre back, he's sitting very, very, very deep. Of course, it's a position that he has made his own this year, Tom, because Tommy was more or less a forward or a midfielder in coming up along through the ranks, but he really has made centre back his own.
So Fionn O'Brien, a Limerick under-20 goalkeeper his last 2 seasons, sends it long and no one able to get a touch to it. So already a quartet of wides for the South Limerick club. A big weekend for people in that part of the county, with Effin, of course, as we mentioned, playing in the Premier Intermediate tomorrow, and Castletown Ballygran will be on your screens from 6 p.m. this evening. So huge interest in the game as always, but particularly now that county finals are on the horizon for 3 clubs in that area, as Darren Colopy is going to get onto the pieces here. He does oh so well again. Colopy from the sideline, has he brought it in enough? It has just not turned in, and Colopy's off target.
That was quite close, Tom, very, very close. Shane Flourish there at the other side took a long look at it before coming up with the decision. Now we're attacking at this end.
Conor Frawley gets the sharp puck out. Conor Frawley has brought it in beautifully, gives a bit of the fist pump on the way back, encouraging his charges for more, and we have a level game here in Fettermore.
Yeah, I think Bruree seemed to be settling a bit, Tom. They were seemed to be a bit tentative and a bit nervous in the opening 5 or 6 minutes, but now they seem to be settling down.
Yeah, when your wing back does a thing or two like that, it's bound to settle you. As Oisin Holmes gets on it again, Holmes tries to dot it through, but it takes a deflection, falls nicely for Jack Nicholas. Nicholas off the right, I think that one is going to tail, and indeed it has. So Nicholas probably wise and right to take on the shot, but didn't execute it as well as he would have liked.
Jack, a former Limerick underage player as well.
Yeah, so they're dotted around most teams, aren't they? Yeah.
Both teams are peppered with him, actually.
As puck out goes very, very long, reaching that 20-metre line. Pitch in Fettermore here, a touch or two shorter than some other pitches, as the 65s will tell you, but playing surface of the highest order is Bruree go long through Shane Feen, and has he put too much on it? I think he has, yeah.
Yes,
and,
overcooked it. Tom, that will give you a clear indication of the strength of the breeze, because he was only about 45 metres from his own goal.
Yeah, even closer to his own goal, and it has escaped everyone, yeah.
Yeah, escaped everybody, and you know, I don't think he put too much power into it, because he sort of anticipated that it would drop, but will tell you the wind took it.
Yeah, it's a couple already that maybe a little bit overcooked given the breeze, so they'll be wise to tidy up on that. As Mark Nicholas gets on it, he jets it into Michael Ryan, and another clash of the ash. This time we have a broken hurley for Tommy Cronley, but play goes on as Oisin Holmes gets on it. Holmes, lovely step inside. Holmes after right, that is going to split the post wonderfully. And Oisin Holmes has been involved in so much so far, and now he gets a score to put Murroe Boher back in front.
Yeah, Tom, we have had only 5 scores so far, but that without question is the score of the game. A fantastic score by Oisin Holmes.
Yeah, stepped inside his man and arrowed it over to perfection, as Bruree looking for a very swift response, and Michael Lane from a super tight angle just floats it nonchalantly with the breeze, and the response is immediate, and I think that's what he wanted to do with the earlier one, and he's got it right on this occasion.
Yeah, and I think that was very, very important for Bruree, because we're 10 minutes into the game now, Tom. They have a strong breeze at their backs. They need to be nosing in front, and they need to be building up a bit of a lead. Yeah,
Mark Nicholas picks the pocket of Cronley. Nicholas looking to angle one across, it's blocked. Is it going to stay in play? It's out for a 65. I think a combination of Jimmy Leslie Madigan and Darren Colopy ended up seeing the ball out over the line, but it was last touched by a Bruree stick, so 65 to come.
I think it was a safe thing to do, Tom.
Yeah, just get it out over that end line.
Yeah.
There's a Bruree player in a spot of bother back there. And I think it's the number 5, Jimmy Leslie Madigan, so immediate concern for him, and the medic is in, so we'll have a momentary pause in proceedings, but
the referee is calling the medic in there.
Yeah.
I think he's back on his feet. I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah, helmet removed, but back to his feet, and just give him the once over. But Matt, what a weekend of action we have. This is the first, as you said, of 5 games.
It's just absolutely incredible, Tom. you'd love to have it every weekend, of course, but like 3 finals today at 3 o'clock, Doon and Knockadary are starting in the Premier Junior final, and then at 6 o'clock we've Castletown Ballygran, who coincidentally are joined with Bruree under Killicolla
underage, yeah.
And they're playing Temple Danton, and two teams that have only one county junior title to show between them. So like that, there's going to be some crowd there, and there's going to be some celebration, and of course it's all a build up, Tom, to what should be an incredible day at the Gaelic grounds tomorrow.
Yeah, that's for sure. The Premier Intermediate and Senior finals, we'll discuss those as we get lapses into play here. But there's a sub being made by Bruree. It's a temporary one, I'm told. So Brian Sexton is in, wearing the number 9 jersey, and out goes Jimmy Leslie Madigan. Hopefully Jimmy is okay to continue, but Brian Sexton is ready, willing, and had been waiting, but in he comes as a temporary substitute. So
yeah, it might entail a switch or two now on the Bruree team. I don't know whether he'll just dovetail into Jimmy's position, because he normally plays midfielder, wing forward. So
yeah,
he seems to be taking up a position at half back, I'd say.
Certainly, right. Yeah, certainly for this ball, as Shawnee Tobin lines up the free, or the 65 as it is. Tobin gets the lift right. Does he bring it in enough? He does indeed, and Shawnee Tobin gets Murroe Boher in front again, yet to trail. They'll be very happy with the start against that noticeable breeze, and a second for Shawnee Tobin.
Yes, absolutely. And Shawnee played very little over the last 2 years, but he's been back very near his best this year.
That's for sure. As injuries have curtailed his involvement for his club, as we know. Thought he was finished, in fact, with his club in recent seasons, but thankfully good to see him out there. As ball intercepted by Killian Burns. Scramble for the possession, and it's Burns eventually who gets it and pops it off to Finn Hourigan. Another one with inter-county experience at underage. Pops it along to Tobin. Tobin racing away from his man, and Tobin on the run. Has he brought it in? Indeed he has. And Shawnee Tobin, well, that's 3 top quality scores from him so far. 1 from a place ball, and 1 off his right, and the earlier 1 off his left. So it's what he's all about.
Early indications, Tom, that this could be Shawnee Tobin's day. Absolutely. Bruree have to do something to curtail him, and on that occasion he actually came out from the full forward position and went foraging, so he's moving around a bit, which is very, very hard to pick him up. Somebody with his skill, they need to be met at source.
Yeah, that's for sure. And the Bruree jersey of Jimmy Leslie Madigan is no longer white. It's dotted, shall we say, with red, but there's a free coming anyway in the middle of the field for the ball being handled on the surface. He's doing his best John Cleese impression, is Jimmy Leslie. He's getting a new jersey, and it looks to be like he's determined to continue in this game. Matt, it's great to see.
It does. It looks as if it was a cut in the head, probably a belt on the helmet, it would look, and it just cut his head, or grazed his head, or possibly his forehead. But he can't wait to get back in here.
Yeah, he's going 100 miles an hour, isn't he?
He's going 100 miles an hour.
We shall see.
I know would he be as busy when he getting up in the morning like
as the free from Sam Connolly is fired over the bar, and the first one was probably a sider. This one is one that he likes a lot better. So 5 points to 4. Coming in a new jersey is Jimmy Leslie Madigan. He's wearing number 22, and off comes
Brian
Sexton. Yeah, so Sexton gets about 3.5 minutes of action. Didn't really get involved in it, but
I would say we'll see Brian before the game is out.
Absolutely, yeah, there's probably little doubt about that. Paddy Lynch intercepts the puck out. Lynch from the sideline, off his left. Does he like the look of it? He sure does. Brilliant score from Paddy Lynch.
Fantastic score.
And just like that, we're level again.
That's a major boost for Bruree, Tom. Fantastic score from Paddy Lynch. Outright, and then we're halfway through the first half.
Yeah, we're level again. These sides look like we're going to be going ding-dong all the way to the 68th minute and potentially beyond. A reminder, finish on the day as Jimmy Leslie Madigan is on it. He ends up getting his wires crossed, threw it up and caught it, or fumbled it in the way. And
straight under the nose of the referee, so there can be no argument.
yeah, Bruree is taken quickly, sent into Shawnee Tobin. Tobin takes on his man. Tobin is going to flick over another, is he? He wins the race with his man yet again, and Shawnee Tobin is in red hot form here this afternoon. It's really, really ominous for a defender if a guy like him starts a game like this.
Absolutely, and Bruree just cannot waste any further time, Tom, in doing something to try and counteract the threat of Shawnee Tobin. Like he raced out there, rounded his man and slotted it over the bar. Once he gets a shot in, there's only one result.
Bruree forwards working extremely hard, but very tidy work from Murroe Boher as Finn Horrigan gets on it there, working it short. They're now switching play across, but there's nobody there in a green jersey as Connolly sitting a little bit deeper as Tobin ends up on the surface from it. Connolly opens the shoulders and it escapes everyone for a 7th wide and all for Murroe Boher.
I think these are going to come back and haunt Bruree at this stage. Like it's 7 wides to 2, Tom, and they need. Then their conversion rate isn't good enough. It's a county final, and they're playing with the breeze, and they need to build up a bit of a lead coming up to half time. And it's just not happening. They're still trailing, and we're into the second quarter. I think Murroe Boher will be absolutely thrilled with the start that they've had.
That's for sure, yeah. As Johnny Murphy just doing a bit of policing of the touchlines. He's asked the Bruree subs to take their seats, as the Murroe Boher subs have already done. So that's just disrupted the flow of it, but we're back underway. Chance now for the ball to be sent in again to Shawnee Tobin. Tobin tries to take on his man. Didn't have the ball though, and eventually he gets a hold of it somehow or other, and Tobin trying to recycle the ball is stopped. Ball eventually swept away by a Bruree stick, and Shawnee Tobin has been continued to protest with Johnny Murphy, and I have a feeling he's going to walk himself into the referee's notebook here. First time though they've disrupted him and stopped him getting the possession, Matt.
Yeah, it's the first time, but his ability to recover, we saw it there. They actually had to block him. They had to get on top of him twice.
Yeah, 2 or 3 bodies around it in each occasion.
Yeah.
So
I think Johnny is just quite happy to say Shawnee cool it down, I think.
That ball is dropped in and it eventually comes to Kieran O'Dea, and O'Dea opens up and Kieran O'Dea knocks it over the bar. Well, Bruree probably were thinking they could have had a free maybe for the roaring and shouting from Johnny Murphy. He's now had a word with someone on the sideline over there, so tensions rising here, but Kieran O'Dea has leveled us up again. It's half a dozen points apiece here in Fettermore.
So far, Tom, it's a good game without being a classic.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think it's coming to the boil, shall we say, as racing onto it is Killian Burns. It's in around the square, good shepherding by the defender, and tidied up nicely by Fionn O'Brien. He gives it out to Conor Frawley. Frawley at the second attempt gathers it, met by a couple of would-be challengers from Murroe Boher. Does very well, does Conor Frawley. Is he running out of space? He eventually sweeps it inside. Oh, the pass is just behind the player, and there's a foul on the defender, and they were not quite on the same wavelength, but if they were, it was a chance of a goal there for Bruree.
A real chance of a goal had the pass been completed to Jimmy O'Dea. Now I think we've Kieran O'Dea again.
Yeah, just off target this time.
He's off target.
Yeah, tried to profit from a miss-hit. Dara Kennedy free. Dara, as we'll have seen, lining out in the colours of Monaleen in football, so a dual star really at his levels. As ball sent inside to Tobin. Now you see the 3 and 4 jerseys of Bruree around him on every occasion. That's what they're trying to do, take away the space from Tobin as ball arrowed up towards Lane. Lane beaten to it, and it's Finn Horrigan who does the defending, gives it to Michael Ryan, and Michael Ryan, it's Michael Ryan Ned, of course, when we have 2 of them. He's knocked it over, and again defence is on top, and then the opportunity is taken as hardly time to catch our breath. Sam Connolly pulls the puck out of the sky, but isn't able to bring it in, and already 9 wides. Now they're probably, because they have the breeze, they're probably looking to shoot very, very regularly. Again a puck out is disrupted, and there's a pull there by Darragh McDonough.
And at this stage, that they'll have to change tactic in it, because it obviously is not working. Because there may be, and we found it outside in the car park, there may, whilst the wind is blowing directly, it would appear from left to right, there seems to be a tail in it. If you look at the flags over, Tom, the tricolour and the Fedimore flag, there seems to be a tail to the left of it.
Yeah, as Michael Ryan, Madabody gets on it, his effort went close but went off target, so a third wide for the men from the east. As I mentioned, winners in 1999, a narrow victory over Knockany. They were senior for the best part of 2 decades really after that, but ended up going back down to...
Of course, there's a great tradition of hurling in Murroe Boher. They were the first ever winners of the County Senior Hurling Championship as Murroe in 1887. I wasn't around that time, but neither were you, Tom.
No, I don't think too many here were. If they were, I'd like to meet them anyway. Rich tradition of hurling. We've seen it down the years, and some of the players they've produced. Ball worked inside to Sam Cronley from a very difficult angle, but there's no doubt about it. Sam Cronley is coming to form here, and we are level once again.
Yeah, an excellent point by Sam. Maybe I think they might have made a few changes. No, I think that he's just wandered into the... I think Sam has gone in full forward at this stage.
Yeah, they're kind of playing with a 2-man inside line, and Sam is the spearhead of it, as it looks like to us anyway. Level for a 5th time, and Bruree looking for a first lead. William Sexton carrying. Gets shouldered at it. Lost the ball in the process as it's carried up to by David Hickey. Hickey out to that sideline, giving it around to a man on the run as they send it across. There's 3 men around Shawnee Tobin. Tobin just put his hand up, can't get it. Will at the second attempt. Tobin goes through and he is fouled, and Bruree had the hard part done, but then just couldn't tidy up the loose ball.
Just didn't tidy up the loose ball, and of all people to be around the place, you must tidy up the loose ball with Shawnee Tobin, because he reacts so quickly. I thought the referee was going to have a word with somebody there, but I think he's satisfied that everything was okay. Like, there was a clear foul on Shawnee Tobin, but he's actually taken the free himself.
He is, yeah. From Johnny Murphy, if they didn't know each other before, they're getting to know each other this afternoon. There's plenty of chat between the two, but I'm sure that's what players like, is to be able to speak to the referee.
There's a discourse going on between them, Tom, which we're not privy to.
That's for sure,
but we can guess.
Yeah, we haven't Johnny mic'd up, but anyway, Shawnee with the routine free, another one for him, and reopening that lead. And every time Bruree seem to peg them back, Murroe Boher have some form of answer at the other end. It's been tit for tat now. That's 6 scores split evenly in the last few minutes, 3 apiece, and every second score really as well. So
it suits Murroe Boher, Tom. It suits Murroe Boher, because as we said a couple of times in the commentary, that Bruree need to be putting up some bit of a lead, something to hang on to in the second half.
It was Patrick Deedy carrying it. He was unable to do much with it, but it was swallowed up as ball whipped on there by Oisin Holmes, and to nobody in particular. And this is Jimmy Leslie Madigan. Madigan from the middle of the field, a little bit aimless, and it means Killian Quaid can come out from his goal. And Quaid, that's wise use of the possession, gives it to Ewan Sheridan. They're working it out to Killian Burns. Burns at the second attempt will pick it and passes it inside to Dylan Sheehan. They're trying to work it low and carry the ball into that wing. Sent inside to Darren Colopy. Knocks it out in front for himself. And here is Colopy. Colopy looking for Tobin, just a little bit overcooked. So the race will be won by Kevin Hayden. Hayden does well. He can pass from Hayden, finds Paddy Lynch. Lynch with all the time to let rip from his own half, but doesn't have the trajectory. And as the number on his back says, that's number 10, and it's number 10 in wides for Bruree.
Yeah, they will be very, very disappointed with their efficiency. And Tom, it's looming already that it could come back to haunt them, because look how efficient Murroe Boher have been. All right, Murroe Boher are playing against a stiffish breeze. They have only 3 wides, but they have been so efficient. Like they get 11 scoring chances and they convert 8 of them.
Yeah, that will be enough in plenty. As long as you get the quantity, that could be enough in most matches. But the win never won anything, so Bruree will be conscious of that. there is a
Oh yeah, they'll be conscious of that. That you know, it'll hold up the ball.
But they haven't put their best foot forward here in this opening half.
No.
It's calls for a chop there, and the ball spilled out over the line. It's going to be a line ball to Murroe Boher as it's cut there. It deflects off a Bruree stick, pulled on by Tommy Connolly. Goes across his opposite number. That's Holmes. Holmes has been busy running through. Holmes off his left this time. Has he carried it enough? No, he was just under pressure. Good defensive pressure applied by Bruree as Fionn O'Brien arrows it out to Kieran O'Dea. And O'Dea off his right. That one is going to carry. And it's going to go wide as
Kieran just caught it and really belted it there. I'm not so sure, but possibly a quick look up, but it was well wide of the target. Bruree will be extremely disappointed at this point in time.
yeah, it's
The statistics of the first half will make very grim reading for the half-time team, Tom.
yeah. There's a line ball for Bruree on the far side. Looks like Sam Williams, the team captain, wants to take it. Indeed he does, in that yellow helmet. Winter has certainly arrived. If the hats and the jackets are anything to go by over on that far side, as Bruree get on it. Ball hits off the referee, and I'm sure apologies from Johnny Murphy. He got hit by a football in one match there a few weeks ago, but no injury this time, as scramble for that loose ball. Looks like Bruree are going to come up with it. Indeed they do. Putting the brakes on is Sam Connolly, and there's a clear chop. You could hear it from here, you could see it from here, and Connolly does well, wins his own free, and a much needed
Opportunity to level the match,
Yeah.
hopefully. And we're into the last 3 minutes of regulation time, Tom. I don't think there's going to be an awful lot of injury time. Perhaps Jimmy Leslie Madigan was down there for a while. You're probably looking at 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'd say maximum. Really doesn't need much else, thankfully, other than that. But Connolly standing over it. So just in front of that 65. Connolly jetting it through. I think the breeze affected very little, and we are level again. So a free from Connolly brings us level on 28 minutes. About maybe 4 or 5 minutes of action, and Johnny Murphy is indicating 3 minutes, I think.
Yeah, it's indicated.
Yeah, 3 minutes to be added here. My eyesight is not deceiving me, but Patsy Coffey gives us the nod here.
It's about right.
Yeah, that's for sure. So an opportunity maybe for Bruree to look for their first lead of the game. Going through. There's a chance of a goal here. Oh, what a save! It was Paddy Lynch with the bullet. Tipped around the post by Killian Quaid. I was just waiting for the net to rattle, Matt.
Absolutely fantastic save by Killian Quaid.
It actually hit his helmet, didn't it?
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, Tom. You know, and
wow.
As his dad was telling us during the week, like, he commutes from Dublin to train diligently a couple of times a week, which gives you an idea of his dedication to the cause of his club, and of course his twin brother is on the bench.
Yeah, he well, I wouldn't say he put his body on the line, he's put his head on the line there. Really,
He did.
Came off the side of his helmet, I think, but he stood up as long as he possibly could.
He did. The message was Killian Quaid was stopping it anyway, you know.
Yeah, so it's going to be a 65.
And I'd say Sam is taking this one.
He's calling for a new slitter. It's not quite Wimbledon with new balls, please, but the one he had is not up to standard, and I think Martin Doherty, the linesman, agreed. So Connolly with the 65, and crucially, Matt, first opportunity for the lead for Bruree this afternoon.
Absolutely, it'll be a psychological boost to them going in at half-time if they have it. As little as it is, it will be something to hold on to. And
if he can get it, and he does indeed.
He does.
So Sam Connolly with the 65 after that superb save from Killian Quaid. The net result is a score from the 65. So we have 3 additional minutes which we have just commenced as Murroe Boher look for a response up at the other end. Ball pulled on by Killian Burns. He certainly has vacated that full back line and has vacated a long time ago. Ball jetted inside. Darren Colopy going for it. Shawnee Tobin there, but so too is the defender Kevin Hayden. They work it out through Conor Frawley, hooked on his way out. It's a bit of car crash stuff in the middle of the field, and ball arrowed down towards the number 12. David Hickey He's carried well in this half, takes on his man there and draws the foul.
It was, and through the foul, Tom, that was a lazy type of foul now. The type of foul that you just cannot be given away. And particularly if you're going to start giving away those fouls in the second half, when Murroe Boher will be playing with the wind, you're going to be punished all day by Shani Tobin.
Yeah.
And he's coming out now, and he's not in a great hurry, and hard to blame him.
Hard to blame him, that's right.
Playing against the breeze.
Yeah.
Into injury time in the first half.
Yeah, they'd be very, very happy, I'm sure, to go in level, or indeed better. There'll be time for another player or two as well. So, important part for Tobin now is to get this right. We saw him nailing frees at senior level down the years from Murroe Boher. Trying to take it one of the steps back towards it. Puts it up there. Has that gone wide? The umpires agreed that it has, so fraction of a let off. I think Conor Frawley would be happy.
It was a let off, because it was, as I said, it was a lazy, needless free to give away.
So Fionn O'Brien, grandson, isn't he, of the great
Jim
O'Brien? Yeah, another man who didn't lick it off a stone in regards to goalkeeping.
And his father, John, of course, played for Limerick as well in goal.
Yeah, as the ball is worked now to Mark Nicholas. Nicholas taking on his man, hand passing it to the runner. It's picked up and it's arrowed towards goal by Michael Ryan. And Michael Ryan Ned gets a second, and we are level, 9 points apiece.
Yeah, and a very important score from Murroe Boher. Psychologically going in at half-time level, if it stays that well. What a catch over there on the far side by Finn Horrigan.
Yeah, they've an opportunity now to re-establish a lead. Mark Nicholas taking on his man, slipped off his knees, just floating one into the Fedamore sky. Lovely take at the other end then by Tommy Cronley, and he works it out to Leslie Madigan, and Madigan jetting it. Is it going to be kept in play? It's going to escape everyone. Good defensive work there by Dara Kennedy, playing very deep this afternoon, and goes out over the inline. So perhaps the last play of the half is.
Yeah, we're what?
Yeah, we're 2.5, nearly 3.
Almost 3. So I think we're seeing the last section of the half. And all Murroe Boher have to do now to stay on level terms. They may not be quite satisfied with that.
Yeah. Killian Burns gets on it. Burns jinking, and eventually has to hand pass it back. A shot at the post there. Is that gone in? It has indeed. Is it the number 11? I think it might just be. Well, it is the last score of the half, and Murroe Boher find themselves in front. A very efficient and very accurate opening half for them.
No, it was actually Michael Ryan M.
Michael Ryan Madabody, the number 13. Apologies to Michael, but he has got the score. So 10 points to 9. Matt will be heading for a commercial break momentarily, but Murroe Boher have to be extremely, extremely happy with that half.
Extremely happy, Tom, and you know, the scoreboard doesn't lie. For much of the game, they were the better side. Bruree, Tom, from what we know of Bruree, they haven't really got going. They will be very, very disappointed. I think you mentioned it during the commentary there, that they thought that the breeze, you know, that they could shoot on sight, and
a dozen wides.
It's soul destroying.
Yeah.
Going in at half time, like there will certainly be contrasting moods in the respective dressing rooms in there. Murroe Boher will be absolutely delighted. And Tom, you'd have to say, in fairness, on the balance of play, win or no win, they deserve to be in front.
Yeah, indeed. They've used the ball way better, I think. Way better, yeah.
But way better. And they used it. They used it to account for playing against the wind. So if they'll do it now in the second half to take into account the wind, you know, they're going to be hard to beat now. Bruree have to turn over, and they've got to use the ball and use it more diligently and more efficiently.
Yeah.
And that's the big if at the moment. But you would have to say that on the balance after the first half, it's looking good for Murroe Boher.
Sure is. So we head for a little suspiog here in Fedamore. It's half time in this Limerick Intermediate Hurling Championship final. It's Murroe Boher leading 10 points to 9. To Shani Tobin, and Tobin puts the brakes on, flicking it off his left over the bar. He pays the burn. Colopy spins away off his right as he put it in. He has the upper leg shot from the middle of the field. It's Kieran O'Dea, and And O'Dea likes it. Conor Frawley gets the short puck out. Conor Frawley has brought it in the inside. Bombs after right. That is going to split the bus wonderfully. And Oisin hurrying it over to perfection as Bruree looking for a very swift response. And Michael Lane from a super tight angle. Lane beaten to it. And it's Finn Horrigan who does the defending. Gives it to Michael Ryan. And rich tradition of hurling. We've seen it down the years, and some of the players that produce ball worked inside to Sam Connolly from a very difficult angle. Going through. There's a chance of a goal here. Oh, what a save! It was Paddy Lynch with the bullet. Tipped around the post by Killian Quaid. You're very welcome back to Fettermore for this Nick Green Sports Ground Limerick Intermediate Hurling Championship final. It is, of course, the midway point of this contest, and it's a 10 points to 9 lead for Murroe Boher, who are just after emerging from the dressing room, as we shall see what was discussed in the Bruree dressing room at halftime. Looks like Bruree have made a sub, and that is Darren McDonough, who has been replaced, and it's Brian Sexton who's already come in as a blood sub. So number 9, Brian Sexton, who did not start, is being brought in at wing forward. Obviously something had to change for Bruree. So
very interesting, Tom. He's been playing midfield, that he's brought in at wing forward, and you will recall in the county final last year he scored 4 points from that position.
He did indeed. He's straight into the action as we're back underway for this second half. A reminder, if we are level in 30 minutes time, we will be going to extra time, and who knows beyond that, we may have the dreaded penalties as Cronley comes up with it. Ball worked to Patrick Deedy, and he sweeps it inside, hanging up in that breeze now in this second half. So the type of ball that the Bruree forwards will gather should be a little bit different, but will they get enough of it as Dylan Sheehan gets on it? And it's Killian Burns. He's done a lot of ball in that opening half. Burns jetting one. It's going to skip all the way inside, and the race for possession sees Mark Nicholas beaten to it by the number 4, William Sexton. But Nicholas did not give up the cause and gets on it out of that far touchline. Arrows it back to Darren Colopy. Colopy in a bit of space, and Darren Colopy knocks it over inside the opening 60 seconds. And Murroe Boher picking up where they left off, Matt.
They are picking up where they left off, and that was, you saw a bit of a contrast in the styles there now, how Bruree played with the wind and how Murroe Boher played with it. They were quite patient to get a man into a good scoring position, which Darren Colopy, and he did an easy finish at the end.
Ball worked inside to Mark Nicholas, made that score very, very well with that incredible work where he gets on it again, sends it to the runner. That's Jack Nicholas. Nicholas blocked, foraging for it on the second attempt. Conor Frawley is there with the yellow helmet. Bruree through Shane Fean will carry it out, and Fean into traffic, but just about gets his pass away. Murroe Boher though, strength of numbers, is the ball around the middle of the field for the number 13, floated over. That's Michael Ryan, Madabody, and he knocks over. He gets his second, so that's 3 in a row now either side of the break, and a bit of daylight between the sides really for the first time this afternoon.
Yeah, it's the biggest margin there has been. Now we have an attack here on the left with Brian, but Brian Sexton. The only whistle, I think the ball has been touched on the ground, I think it seems from here, and thought for a minute he was very close to the line ball, through a line ball, but no, it's actually a free. Yeah,
Johnny Murphy indicated it was picked up off the grass, and it'll be a free ball for Murroe Boher, which will be taken by Killian Burns, I think it is, and he sends it diagonally across the field of play, and you can see the breeze carries it. So frustration a little bit for Bruree that they did, or Murroe Boher, that they didn't make more of that. So 5th wide for them.
Yeah, and they'll get a sense now of what the strength of the breeze is, and like whilst they will probably adjust to the breeze, Bruree didn't, just kept hammering away the ball.
Ball is sent in once again, but this time it's wide, and now it's the turn of Murroe Boher to be a little bit wasteful. 2 possessions in a row. Two wides, and surveying his options is Fiona O'Brien, part of that Limerick 20s team this year. Just very unlucky not to reach the knockout stages of Munster after beating Tipperary, who ended up winning the All-Ireland. As the ball worked to Kieran O'Dea, unfortunately beaten to it for him is Fionn Horrigan. Works it back to Dara Kennedy. His pick-up is good. Limerick under 21 in 2015 was Dara. Ball worked short and then worked long as Mark Nicholas is on it. Nicholas sends it across to Colopy. Colopy is a head-high challenge. Colopy, jets it in, and a good save. We're going to come back for the free. Yeah, good save by Fiona O'Brien.
Great save by Fiona O'Brien. You said Fiona was there with the under-20s. He'll be hoping, of course, to feature in the Fitzgibbon Cup with UCC later this early next year, because he's a student at UCC and has been on the panel last year. So he'll be hoping get a bit of Fitzgibbon Cup action, which would be very good for his development as a player and as a goalkeeper.
That's for sure. Tommy Connolly picks up a yellow card for his part in that foul on Darren Colopy. So Shawnee Tobin will add another 7th point for him.
Yeah, I think that was a case Tom have taken one for the team, because it was a very, very dangerous situation. But they needn't have worried. Fionn O'Brien made a fantastic save.
Sure did. It was great work by Darren Colopy. Johnny Tobin profits with the free, and Bruree needs something to go their way in the next few minutes. They're 4 in arrears as Sam Connolly is under. There's a foul there, and there's a needless enough chop on Patrick Teedy. He wins his free, and talk about needing something to go. A free from about 45-50 metres now from goal is probably the best they could hope for in this situation to get the ball rolling in the second half.
Into the breeze now, and it should be within Sam Connolly's compass, but it's not an easy free, Tom.
It's not, no.
It's not an easy free.
Going through his routine, flicking and rolling the hurley. I'm sure he's done this thousands and thousands of times as he makes absolutely no mistake.
No mistake whatsoever.
Ram bam, thank you, Sam, as it's 10 points now for Bruree and another one for Sam, as
maybe only a point from a free, Tom, but it's of huge significance in that. Oh, hold it, we have
another response this time.
Michael Ryan.
Yeah, Michael Ryan Madabody, the corner forward. He's brought plenty of energy to the second half.
I think it moves him on to 3 points.
Sure does, yeah. And 6 minutes, 4 points for Murroe Boher. They'll be very, very happy with this, as Dara Kennedy once and then twice gets a flick to it, but to nobody in particular. Picking it up is Sam Williams. Williams hand pass just escaping Jimmy O'D. And looks to be Murroe Boher coming out with it. Ball spilled by Killian Burns. He's been quite impressive, but just lost it on that occasion. Ball kicked, and it's going to go out over the line. As
unfortunately, Tom, the umbrellas are going up around the place.
Yeah, that can only mean one thing.
It can only mean that the rain is coming down.
Yeah, it's not the sun that's come out too strongly or anything.
No, it's it's a bit too soon for it to make the ground slippery, because the ground is in absolutely perfect condition.
Sure, it's very, very short grass and very, very dry out there. There's a foul on Finn Horrigan, and immediately Murroe Boher get on with it. They're injecting pace into the second half. Here's Michael Ryan Madabody working it back to the number 12. That's David Hickey. Hickey inside to Mark Nicholas, and it has gone to the right and wide. So that's 3 now for them since the interval.
It looks as if there's a scoring goal and a wide goal here, Tom.
Yeah, it's doing both nearly in equal measure, yeah.
This one down to our right is the wide one.
Yeah. And now it's over carried, and Killian Burns, they were looking for steps on him the last time, but this time he's caught. He's judged to have taken more than the 4. So Johnny Murphy close him up for it, and Sam Connolly saw him on the other wing a few moments ago. This one just beneath us here, and umbrellas popping up all over the place. A great crowd in here in Fedamore.
Fantastic crowd, and it's a very, very good competition, and we had some very good hurling during the course of the competition, and no doubt about it, irrespective of how the result goes here, we have the 2 best teams in it. An excellent point from Sam Connolly.
Yeah, he's starting to show Murroe Boher that they can't foul, because he's going to be accurate from there. As there's a substitute coming for Murroe Boher, so they're bringing in number 20. That is Aaron Kennedy, and coming out is the number 4, Ewan Sheridan. So a defensive reshuffle as Killian Burns looks to go to left corner back, and it looks to me as if Aaron Kennedy is going to come out to right wing, or maybe even further up in towards midfield. So Kennedy looking in fine fettle as he comes in, and he'll, I'm sure, add a bit of energy. Darren Colopy trying to get onto his own flick. There's a slide and a dive for the ball. Here's Michael Ryan. Ryan going for the goal! Tucks it into the far corner. Well, he was under pressure with the block, but he powered through it. And on the swivel, Michael Ryan Madabody gets the opening goal of this contest, and daylight now, firm daylight between the sides.
Yeah, it's a huge mountain now for Bruree to climb, and it was absolutely a bullet of a shot. It had to be to beat Fionn O'Brien. So really into the driving seat now, Murroe Boher. But Tom, you mentioned the substitution of Ewan Sheridan there. The Murroe Boher connections told me before the game that there was some element of doubt when they were giving me the team news about Ewan Sheridan, but that they would confirm it. But obviously he started. Tom, he did quite well for 40 minutes.
Yeah, best part of 40 minutes is free coming for a bit of blood here now. Looking for a jersey here is Sam Connolly. And Sam wants to take the free, but Johnny Murphy has asked him to get a new jersey, so Sam Connolly will now be wearing a different jersey number. What one it will be, we will reveal momentarily. It's a different jersey altogether, really. He's wearing number 24, and Johnny Murphy allowing him the time. He's changing charts and all just off screen. We don't need to bring you that, but Sam is ready to go. Yes. With his fresh championship haircut almost. So
it's a free that's slightly longer, much the same angle as the last one he got. Probably much more important for you, having conceded a goal, Tom, that
absolutely,
you need to get a response immediately from Bruree.
Yeah, we often hear John Coyote speaking about Limerick when they either get a goal, you get the next score, or concede a goal, you get the next score. It can change the dynamic again.
Yeah, absolutely, and the next score here is of much heightened importance now.
So Connolly now wearing 24 from a different set of jerseys, but Bruree came prepared, in fairness, with a spare set. They must have felt there was blood going to be drawn here. There's been a couple of them wounded, and Connolly brings it in. It tails at the end, but it's gone over, and it's a dozen points now for them, but they're going to need a lot more in the next 20 minutes or so. Credit to Sam, he was uber efficient in changing his nearly entire kit. Murroe Boher long with the puck out. Tangle of bodies. Incidental contact, lads, is what that's called in the rulebook. Doesn't mean it's a foul. And the ball has been carried out over the line. So Murroe Boher do well to get the turnover, and they're going to get a line ball here.
The only thing I would say, Tom, 12 months ago in the final, when Bruree were in the final with Croke Kilfinney, as you will recall, Croke Kilfinney seemed to be out at the side.
Did they go 8 or 9 up maybe?
They did. Oh, one hose. And the next thing, Bruree came with a mighty rally and just missed by a point, I think.
That was it, yeah. Sam Connolly got a goal, a couple of points, and there was other scores in between. Line ball is cut, not a great connection, but Murroe Boher again trying to forage for it, but there's another man down injured, and it looks to be Jimmy Leslie Madigan. Certainly he's been in.
Time,
yeah, it's his ankle this time. He's been in the wars as a sub coming in. The number 23 has been introduced for Murroe Boher, or sorry, for Bruree, I should say. That's Garrod McCarthy. Michael Lane has made way, so the veteran forward with a point to his name. Looks like his afternoon is done. So the number 13 is coming out for Bruree. Hasn't really happened for their inside line in terms of, huge levels of service. He got a lovely point we saw in the first half, but kind of been starved of that clean ball that you want when you're on the inside line.
Yeah, absolutely. In contrast with how it has worked for the Murroe Boher full forward line with Johnny Tobin and Michael Ryan in absolutely brilliant forward.
So back underway, and down there the number 6, Oisin Holmes, and Holmes flicks on it. Here's Finn Hourigan carrying through a few challenges and just spooning it off to Killian Burns. The goalkeeper is the next option for him to go. It's been turned over. There's a chance of a goal here. It's finished in the net. Kieran O'Dea profits. Killian Craig was looking for the pass. It never came. The turnover was forced, and Kieran O'Dea arrows it into the corner. Game on now, Matt.
Game on. What did we say a few minutes ago about Bruree? They have, Bruree's resilience is extraordinary and it's legendary.
Well, they're going to want to go a little bit one or two better than last year, but they've brought themselves right back into the fight, and you can just feel the energy from Bruree's bench, supporters, players has been lifted. Johnny Tobin as well. Tobin ends up on the floor with 4 white jerseys around him. There's play going on all around it. Bruree have it. Can they clear their lines? Foraging there is Mark Nicholas of Bruree. He's going to get on it. Nicholas shortens the grip, sends it back inside to Michael Ryan. And Ryan bearing down on goal. Ryan flicks it across. There's a chance of a goal. Have we been going back for the free? We have. We were coming back for the free.
Whistle was blown.
Yeah.
I think Johnny had the whistle blown now. And
Michael Ryan Ned was fouled, the number 10. And in fairness, it probably can't hear from here. The whistle, judging by the players' reactions, a few of them at least, the whistle had gone long before Darren Colopy ended up dispatching to the net. So.
No, I think that this is the correct decision because the whistle was gone. Johnny Murphy had his hand clearly in the air before the ball was put into the net.
There's a possibility he thought Michael Ryan was about to overcarry, so you give the advantage to the forward by just giving them the free rather than anything else. And look, to be fair to Murroe Boher, little protest from them. They're happy enough to take the free and happy enough
that Johnny Tobin will oblige.
And oblige he does. So with exactly 15 minutes left in these side seasons, we are back to a 3-point margin. It's Shawnee Tobin knocking over another free as puck out. Bruree sending a lot of bodies over to their right-hand channel. There's going to be an absolute crowd of men beneath it. Batted down though. And Patrick Deedy, well, he's not going to get there. It's going to go all the way to Conor Frawley. He sweeps it down the line. Kept in play nicely by Gerard McCarthy, but he's beaten to the second ball by Owen Burke. Murroe Boher do well this time. This is a bit neater. This is a bit tighter. Derek Kennedy, he's going to send it across here to Aaron Kennedy. Kennedy with green grass in front of him. Going to send one up there, looking for Shawnee Tobin. Tobin is beneath it. Well marshalled by the full back. And then Shane Feehan is there, and Kevin Hayden does well. Puts it on to Hurley. Tracked all the way by a couple of Murroe Boher challengers. Here's Sexton. Angling it down towards Paddy Lynch. Oh, lovely flick there. And it was Killian Burns. He's been impressive, I think. I've been impressed by his work anyway this afternoon.
He's had a good game at full back. Certainly a very good game at full back overall.
Yeah.
And that was a flick away out over the sideline. A line ball for Sam Cronley. Who could possibly, Tom?
He'll give it a fair go, I'm sure.
He will give it a fair go, I think, if normal and the usual flicking of the Hurley.
Yeah, Cronley with the cut, doesn't come in. Got the connection right, but that's probably where the good stuff ended. As a sub coming in for Bruree, that's number 19, and that's Eamon Lyons, and Lyons will come in place of number 22, and that's Jimmy Leslie Madigan, of course, started wearing number 5. And so Bruree making another sub. They're not shy, they know changes are needed, and an opportunity for Eamon Lyons to give fresh impetus in the defensive quarters. Ball broken down there is a line ball coming off the foot of Dylan Sheehan right at the end.
Yeah, it's right down here in front of us, and Martin Doherty seems to be in no doubt as to where.
No, I think I could just about spot it myself. I think it hit a foot of the Murroe Boher player. He thought he'd done enough for the turnover, but
Sam Williams is going to take it.
Yeah, Williams, I think, is slightly disrupted championship with injury, so perhaps why he's wearing number 17. But I'm sure once they knew he was fit, he was very likely to start, and start he did. So, management team for Bruree: David O'D, Emmett Morrissey, and James Vincent O'Brien, as well as John Toohey. Such a connection back to 2006 as a sub coming for Murroe Boher. The number 3, Killian Burns, has vacated his position, and in comes John O'Keefe wearing number 18. So O'Keefe on for the last dozen minutes or so, as line ball going now in favour of Bruree. It's take 2 for Sam Williams. Williams, much better cut. Going to land inside that 20, spinning in the breeze here, the October breeze of Fenimore. But straight onto it is John O'Keefe. They're going to sweep it up the field, looking for the inside men. Shane Feehan is there, but so too is Mark Nicholas, and Nicholas is going to be outnumbered. Ball is knocked out over the line. It's a line ball going in favour of Bruree. But what this does all the time is it eats away at that clock, and
winds down the clock, and we're into the 49th minute at the moment. 11 minutes to go. Tom is still delicately poised.
Sure is.
It's anybody's game. Bruree with that goal have hauled themselves back into it. but they need the next score, Tom, here is going to be crucial.
Sure is, yeah. 4-point lead is what they're searching for here. Darren Colopy does well. Colopy though is hooked, and back there is Tommy Cronley. Cronley spinning onto his right, sending it up to Jimmy O'D, and O'D opens up as well. The Murroe have the numbers back there, maybe 5 or 6 on just 4, so the extra numbers paying dividends as Michael Ryan Ned gets on it from his own 65. It is not coming in, and there's a scramble behind the goal for the Slitter, and it's another wide as back underway. It's nervous times for both teams as Paddy Lynch gets on it, but Murroe turn him over. Shawnee Tobin, the pirouette is still there. Shackled though on this occasion. There's a free coming for Tobin. Just too many men around him holding his arm, pulling him back, and Tobin wins his free.
Yeah, and he's won the free in a position that you would nearly back him all day, Tom, to get to convert it, and could put Murroe Boher into a slightly stronger position with 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, 2-score game is what you're always chasing in the dying embers of these contests, and it's possibly what they're going to have here as Bruree prepare a couple more substitutes. Final rolls of the dice really for the management, but we'll come to those in a moment. Tobin makes absolutely no mistake, and it's 9 points for him now. 3 frees in the second half, and Tobin leads it in. So we've subs aplenty now for both sides as the great Murroe Boher servant, that's Paddy McNamara, wearing number 22, comes in. Trying to keep an eye on everything. There's a number 22 in for Bruree, so Matthew Howard is in for Bruree. Out comes number 10. And it's the number 12 that has made way. So making way is David Hickey of Murroe Boher and Paddy Lynch of Bruree. So that's where we're at the moment.
I'd say no marks for guessing where Paddy McNamara is going to locate himself. Oh, he's actually out
I
here.
corrected you, Matt, because yeah,
he's actually out here wing forward at the moment.
He's gone to wing forward, and let's see.
I would have thought he seemed to be going in the direction of where we expected him to be, inside full forward, but he's out here wing forward.
Yeah, he'll be a target for the first puck out, I'd say, that comes the way of Killian Quaid, but opportunity now for.
At the moment we have a line ball anyway to Bruree.
And it's Sam Cronley, isn't it? I'm mistaken my numbers here. It is, yeah.
Yes,
Sam.
it is Sam. It is Sam.
Sam cuts it. It hits a stick on the way. So fight for possession. Brian Sexton going to win the race, but Michael Ryan is right on his hip and swept up the field by Mark Nicholas. Another race for the possession inside. Sorry, in fact, this is Mark Nicholas. Doesn't get his strike right, and Bruree now can work it away. It's Eamon Lyons. Lyons clears it down. Back there are the two Kennedys, Dara, but namely Aaron. And this now is Dara, the team captain. Will he be collecting a piece of silverware in just a few minutes? Ball caught by Paddy O'Brien, and it's going to be a line ball for Bruree.
You see, just there in that passage of play, what must be a nightmare for a coach's nightmare. To see a player get a ball and undercook it completely straight to him.
To nearly be better if you're completely overhit it, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
He might as well have handed it back, but anyway, these things do happen. His ball is cut in to the full forward line. Again, a huge fight for that possession. Sexton gets on it, does well, one-handed pick-up. Sexton, tracked all the way. Brilliant stuff by Jack Nicholas. Nicholas sweeps it up the field. Going to be off target with it, and he had the hard bit done in terms of winning the ball back, but his delivery, or indeed shot choice.
I'll make it 5 there for Murroe Boher in the second half.
They're 5 wides to 1, so they haven't been as wasteful as Bruree were in that opening half, and that's probably one that will come back to bite Bruree if they cannot resurrect it from here. 16 might just be enough, but another point or two wouldn't go astray. Mark Nicholas sending it inside, broken down inside there. Darren Colopy beneath it for Murroe Boher. A number of other players there, so too Eamon Lyons, you'd see the number 19. Tommy Cronley is there, and all the while the clock ticks down as Murroe Boher be happy enough. The ball is up to our right hand side, Matt, up in this.
Once it is to our right, Tom, Murroe Boher are going to be quite happy, and I think Johnny Murphy has ordained that it's going to be a throw in here. I think he has taken custody of the sliotar anyway. And
Yeah, Kieran O'Rourke is being prepared beneath us by Bruree.
yeah, Kieran was coming on, survivor of 2006, and what a servant to Bruree. Captain Limerick in the league on 1 or 2 occasions, did Kieran O'Rourke. So I think it was in 2007.
Yeah, as county champions, they would have nominated the captain. So Kieran, shall we say, in the twilight of his career, the number 4 is coming out. So William Sexton boot off and is coming off. So
we're in the 55th minute, Tom.
yeah, ball down this end is plenty. There's a needless enough pull there on Kevin Hayden, and Bruree wasting no time really, and getting on with this. Fionn O'Brien comes out from his goal. They're going to go short. No, in fact, O'Brien goes long and diagonal. And again, Finn Hourigan is there, moves it out to Mark Nicholas, and Nicholas opens the shoulders, and it's the number 15, Mark Nicholas, putting more daylight between the sides.
Yeah, very, very important score at this junction in the game, Tom. Apart from psychologically, we had a bit of a lapse there in scoring for almost 5 minutes, and it was hugely important that the next score, from a Bruree perspective, would come their way, but it hasn't, and now they've conceded another 3, and Shawnee Tobin is racing out to ensure that he's going to have a pot at it.
Yeah,
and
looking for his 10th.
This for a 6-point game.
Yeah, well, are they going to party like it's 1999 when they last won this grade, Matt?
Yeah.
It's certainly looking likely.
Yeah, but they could have partied as well in 2017 when they beat Gallisbland and replay in the Premier Intermediate.
Very true, yeah. But just
on a Wednesday night, and had to go to Clare in the Munster Championship on the Sunday. So Munster Championship doesn't arise because it doesn't click in for the Intermediate Championship. It's for the Premier Intermediate winners.
true, yes, so both side seasons about to end here in terms of hurling as Tobin from his own half. Umpire gives the nod, and Shawnee Tobin has brought up 10 of the best, you'd see. And I'm sure he's one of the leading contenders for our Mike O'Connell Men's Man of the Match, which will bring you at the final whistle as the ball works short. Conor Frawley searching inside. There's a foul inside there. It's going to have to be a green flag or two, you feel, for here from Bruree. They've only managed, what, a goal and 3.
This is a dilemma for free takers. You're 6 points down. You've 3 minutes of normal time, whatever the referee.
Yeah, the signal has gone to put the ball over the bar here.
Decides to add on possibly a point and hope that you'd get a couple more chances.
And Cronley takes his point, so they're going to need a big turnover or something to go their way, but 118 plays 113, so back to 5 points here in Fedamore as Killian Quaid going to try and get it as far away from his goal as possible. There's a crowd of bodies beneath it. Paddy McNamara gets his stick to it. It's going to be kept in play by Tommy Cronley, one of the leading lights, you'd have to say, this afternoon for Bruree. Works it to Shane Feen, and all the while Bruree just making it so difficult, but Eamon Lyons does well, and he knocks it down this channel. There's a tangle for the ball there, but again, every time there seems to be an extra green and blue jersey beneath the breaking ball. Ball worked into Michael Ryan Ned, and here comes Ryan having a think about it. Ryan on the spin and off target in this occasion. So
he knew the minute he was disgusted with himself, the minute he hit it, that it was gone where it shouldn't have gone, and that was wide of the post.
Fionn O'Brien sending it beyond that 65. Sam Connolly there for Bruree, but can't get the clean possession. Murroe Boher have worked like dogs at the back to stop any real impetus, and again there's another interception. Dylan Sheehan gets on it. Mark Nicholas is there, worked along now to Michael Ryan Ned, and Michael Ryan Ned from the sideline. It's off target. Well, I thought there was a roar over there. It's a wayward on this occasion. We're going to have 5 additional minutes when we get there, so that's the signal from Johnny Murphy.
Yeah,
there's time in this yet, so
there's time still. It's time still to go, and we have a minute and a half of normal time, so we have 6.5 minutes in total here.
But Bruree need clean possession. They haven't been getting it for the last few minutes. Again,
Murroe in the driving seat, but Bruree, as you said, Tom, have to start getting possession and start working the ball up towards the danger area. And really, Tom, need to get a goal.
Yeah, the ball worked back to the number 18. That's John O'Keefe, and John O'Keefe splits the posts. And
task has just got slightly bigger, hasn't it?
it sure has. They're looking firmly like they have a hand on that trophy as we're into the dying embers now. And there's another one coming in, and that could be the final nail in the Bruree coffin. It was worked up that left wing, and it was the number 10, Michael Ryan-Ned, who knocks it over. And they're playing with confidence, playing with belief, and playing with no shortage of quality in this second half. And a 7-point margin.
It's too much, Tom. It's too much with...
We're ever the optimist for the underdog here, Matt, but Bruree
no, because
have a mountain to climb.
For the last 5 or 6
And
minutes.
another one. Yeah, Mark Nicholas gets the time and gets his shot away accurately.
Yeah, you would hold out hope for Bruree if they were on top and play, but they're not. It's Murroe Boher, right? They're calling all the shots at the moment.
Yeah.
There's a wayward ball gone again.
And Darren Colopy didn't connect with it, but it's in around the danger zone. But since that goal for Bruree, they've managed just a single point and the concession of 7. So that'll tell you 7 points to 1 since they got that goal back from Kieran O'Dea. Haven't been able to build on it. Work now to Jimmy O'Dea. No, O'Dea carrying. They're trying to stop him. O'Dea working it towards Brian Sexton. A little bit overcooked. And all the while, Murroe Boher funnel the bodies back. And it's Michael Ryan-Ned gets it. And
again, a bit of a needless free.
Frustration.
Frustration. You're absolutely right, Tom. The goal did not ignite the spark that a goal normally does, especially because it closed the game to 2 points at that time, as far as I recall.
Yeah, 114 to 112. You're correct. Yeah,
as far as I recall.
But they went immediately up, and Shawnee Tobin knocks over a free.
Yeah, but you were still within 3 points, and you should still have the momentum. But they didn't gain any momentum from it. Didn't build any momentum from it, and like Murroe Boher are finishing the game, you would have to say comfortably on top.
Aaron Kennedy from his own half has seen a tail just off to the right hand side and wide, so
don't think he'll be too worried about it.
Not in the slightest, as Brian Sexton gets on it here. Sexton does well, gets the primary possession. They work it back to Eamon Hines. Every single possession, Murroe Boher are disrupting and making it so difficult for Bruree. As again they get the possession, ball worked inside, and there's a foul on Michael Ryan Madabody. And Matt, if you were to start picking out a handful of players for Murroe Boher, I think the two Michael Ryans have been quite exceptional. Mark Nicholas has been good, obviously Shawnee Tobin, but like their defence has been pretty strong overall. A very good unit.
Yeah, we were so going in now. I think actually 19 for.
We'll get it momentarily anyway, but just pick up that point, Matt, about the
Yeah, the defence has been fantastic, very, very good. I thought Machine Holmes has been outstanding throughout the game. I thought Killian Burns, while he was on the field, was very, very effective at full back. Derek Kennedy and Adam Kennedy, both of them, when he came on, have been very, very effective. So it's a very, very effective Murroe Boher unit. And I think they're beginning to empty their bench now at this stage.
Yeah, that's true. They've brought in Dylan Ryan in the last few moments for Owen Burke. They have another one being prepared beneath us, and here is the aforementioned Dylan Ryan over in that far corner wearing the red sleeves beneath his jersey as Mark Nicholas, sending it very, very long and inside to Michael Ryan. Ryan going for another one. Ryan going to bat it to the net. He does! Icing on the cake for Murroe Boher. Michael Ryan Madabody jinks away in celebration. Brilliantly taken goal. You knew what he was going to do once he slipped his man, and it is his final act. He's going to be taken off here, but what a way to finish the county final.
What a way to leave the green turf here in Fenimore after scoring your second goal and playing such a huge and getting a huge round of applause from the Murroe Boher field for the help. He's been absolutely outstanding today.
potentially one of our leading contenders for man of the match. It's just not going for Bruree, and Murroe Boher are just adding further cherries now early on top of the icing, on top of the cake, as we're into the final embers of it. Darren Colopy on it, looking for another goal. Colopy bearing down. Colopy looking for it. Good save there. We're going to come back for the free. Yeah, Tommy Connolly with the high challenge again, and I think Tommy Connolly may be about to exit stage left, although Johnny Murphy just has had a word with him, and it'll be no more than that, and I don't think anyone will have any qualms with that. Darren Colopy though is electric when he gets onto the ball, Matt, isn't he?
Absolutely. He showed that as a minor, and it would be great if to transition up through the grade. Johnny Tobin taps it over for a point that's only of academic interest at this stage.
11 now, I think, for him, and Johnny Murphy is calling for the ball, and the Lions of Limerick, intermediate hurling champions for 2025, are Murroe Boher, 222 to 113. Worthy winners. They've streaked away from Bruree, and it's glory Murroe Boher. They've taken the win, Matt, and deservedly so.
Oh yeah, I don't think anybody can argue with the result, Tom. It's heartiest congratulations to Murroe Boher. I suppose it's the fulfilment of a plan that they probably put in place soon after suffering the second relegation. And I don't think it's all that of a surprise that we see Murroe Boher in the situation that they're in today, because they have been steadily building, and this present squad of players and this latest success is built on a very, very, very solid foundation. And I think Bruree can have no qualms. And it was really, Tom, in the first half that Bruree, they gave themselves a mountain to climb, like trailing by a point at half-time, having played with a stiff breeze. You can see it's still quite stiff out there, and was still, but you know, they were shooting at sight, and it just wasn't coming off. Murroe Boher were prepared to work the ball in and create the scores and get the ball to finishers in good positions, and the product of it was a couple of vital goals, and some very, very important points.
Yeah, I've one more job for you, Matt. We're going to go down and we're going to mingle amongst the celebrations, and indeed commiserate with Bruree as well. But we have our Michael O'Connell Menswear Man of the Match, kindly sponsored of course by Michael O'Connell Menswear, Catchin Street in Limerick. A few contenders. We like to look at Johnny Tobin in the first half, but I think one man certainly just stuck his head up in the second half, and that was the corner forward.
He did, but you'd have to give a shout out, as I said, to the Kennedys, Killian Burns, Oisin Holmes, Darren Colopy. There were so many on the Murroe Boher team. The Connellys, you know, they led the charge. Kevin Hayden at times, Conor Frawley, Kieran O'Dea really tried everything to bring Bruree back into it. But on the day that it is, if you score 2 goals in a county final and a couple of points to go with it, and caused the opposition all sorts of problems, then I think the Michael O'Connell man of the match should be Michael Ryan. Yeah, Michael Ryan, Madibody, the number 13 is your Michael O'Connell man of the match. We'll try and catch a word with him momentarily, and we'll get in around the celebrations and the presentation. But thanks to you, Matt, and we'll get down there on the pitch now and mingle amongst it. Pace to burn. Colopy spins away off his right. Has he put it in? He has. The upper leg shot from the middle of the field. It's Kieran O'Dea, and O'Dea likes it. Conor Frawley gets the sharp puck out. Conor Frawley has brought it in to the side. Holmes off the right. That is going to split the post wonderfully. And Oisin arrowing it over to perfection as Bruree looking for a very swift response. And Michael Lane from a super tight angle. Lane beaten to it. And it's Finn Horrigan who does the defending, gets to Michael Ryan, and rich tradition of hurling. We've seen it down the years, and some of the players they've produced. Ball worked inside to Sam Connolly from a very difficult angle going through. There's a chance of a goal here. Oh, what a save! It was Paddy Lynch with the bullet, tipped around the Colopy in a bit of space, and Darren Colopy, strength of numbers, is the ball
Throw in the middle of the field for the number 13. Sends it across to Colopy. Colopy has a head-high challenge. Colopy gets it in, and a good save.
Significance in that progress we have.
Response wing, or maybe even further up in towards midfield. So Kennedy looking in fine fettle as he comes in, and he'll I'm sure add a bit of energy. Darren Colopy trying to get onto his own flick. There's a slide and a dive for the ball. Here's Michael Ryan. Ryan flicks on it. Here's Finn Hourigan. Carrying through a few challenges and just spooning it off to Killian Burns. The goalkeeper is the next option for the goal. It's been turned over. There's a chance of a goal here. It's finishing in this. Kieran Profits. Again, Finn Hourigan is there. Moves it out to Mark Nicholas, and Nicholas opens the Sean Burns. And the season's about to end here in terms of hurling his total from his own half. Umpire gives the line, and Sean Cole. Yeah, the ball worked back to the number 18. That's John O'Keefe, and John O'Keefe split. And there's another one coming in, and that could be final.
For the last 5 or 6
and
minutes.
another one. Yeah, Mark Nicholas. Here is the aforementioned Dylan Ryan over in that far corner, wearing the red sleeves beneath his jersey. Is Mark Nicholas. Sending it very, very long and inside to Michael Ryan. Ryan going for another one. Ryan going to bat it to the net.
Show that as a line, and it would be great if we transition up through the way.
Okay, you're very welcome back to a windy Fedamore. I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Mikey Ryan, the man of the match here for Murroe Boher. Mikey, a long time coming free. A couple of goals there for yourself. You are the Michael Conlon Men's Man of the Match. I'll give you that first of all anyway. But huge day for the club, huge day for yourself, huge day for everyone. It's a special feeling, I'm sure.
Yeah, I suppose we've been kind of down in the doldrums for a couple of years now. We have a few close calls over the last 2 years to try and get over the line. And yeah, just a sense of relief today more than anything else. I can't even say I'm enjoying it yet. I suppose we'll enjoy it tonight, but just a sense of relief at the moment.
Yeah, you streaked away. You end up winning 222 to 113. Nip and tucked on that first half, but that was where the foundation was laid, because you went in only a point down. We can feel the breeze from here. You really worked like dogs throughout, but particularly in that first half.
Yeah, I suppose that we stood for us in that first half. Yeah, I'd say even to be honest and fair to Bruree, we picked up in the second half against them. But like, look, we knew we were up against tough opposition, and we knew we had to go all the way to the end. Because last year, Bruree kind of pipped us in the second half of the county final last year, and we knew if we didn't go for the full 60 minutes, they could pip us again. So no, just delighted now we're able to have the performance the full 60 minutes and get over the line.
Now we're going to get the cup for you in a moment, but your 2 goals, the first one you didn't have an awful lot of time with it because we were being hunted down, but you arrowed it across the keeper. The second one, I suppose the game maybe was nearly over at that stage. You probably knew going through what you were going to do, and to bat it to the net, I suppose I suppose just you needed to show all your skills there for both those goals.
Yeah, well, I suppose that's just something like we will be training over the last couple of years, but being straight in goals, like just yeah, I don't know. It's kind of the first thing that came to my mind. Just this was to be batted, and just thankfully it went in.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're going to get the cup here, but you are the Michael Conlon Men's Man of the Match. Yeah, congratulations to you. Enjoy the celebrations. We'll join Dara Kennedy now for the presentation. Okay, we're just going to pass you over to Frank Caridi here from the county board. Frank, I'll pass you the mic. You're live there, so I think you're looking for Dara Kennedy, the captain.
Well, let's pass it again. I won't get much closer. It's a great day for Murroe Boher, as well as their under 16s winning the Premier County this morning. It's surely coming with our intermediate now is surely an exceptional feat by the Murroe Boher club. Yes, the wind played a factor probably in the first half and the second half, but nevertheless I think the pitch was in exceptional form, and I'd like to thank Fedamore and Kevin Power and his officials here and his team for the way they stewarded and ran the pitch here today was an exceptional form. And I'd like to thank the referee, Johnny Murphy, and his officials. They were, I think, I won't say it was an easy match. There's no easy match to referee, but Johnny Murphy and his officials did a splendid job, and I'd like to acknowledge that. Yeah. I'd like to thank the managements of both teams. It has been a great competition, and one have to appreciate that all the work that goes in to get to a final is an exceptional feat. And the backroom team, the officials, they put in a lot of hard work, as the players, no doubt. Everyone knows the sacrifice the players make, but I think the backroom team for both teams, I'd like to acknowledge that, because to come here today and contest in a county final, and it's no big deal not to lose the county final. For the communities of both parishes, it's a splendid achievement to be in a county final. So without any further ado, I call on Derek Kennedy, the captain of Murroe Boher, to accept the Mike Leary Cup.
Firstly, lads, I'd like to thank Bruree for an unreal game. We've had a few battles down the years, and I know they've had a tough week. A few of their squad members have had family losses, so sincere condolences from our club to your club and everyone involved. You know, there's bigger things in hurling, and fair play, you did a great. But I've no doubt you were here in the final last year, and you'll be there again next year. And look, today was our day, but your day will come as well. Just on our own team, I'd like to thank our management for all their hard work all year. We're probably not an easy bunch to deal with, but we've been going off the last 4 years. We've had a few dark years before that, and we're on the slope, but it's looking good, lads. We've 16s won the county final this morning. We're after winning today, and just the supporters keep coming with us. We'll get you back up there. That's step one. We'll enjoy the next few weeks, and we'll go again next year. But just special mention to the lads that were involved: James, Connor, Kevin, Mike Moore, Owen Toohey, our stats fellas, everyone. It's no easy thing being involved with a team, you know. So you're a credit to each other, and thanks a million for all your support. And just to the lads, the players, at the end of the day, you're the ones sacrificing, coming to the field 3 or 4 nights a week, doing the extras. Like, it's just the bond that we've had over the last 3 or 4 years to get through the dark days, and today's sweet because of all those dark days we've had getting onto the top of this one, but it's only one step back to where we want to go. So we'll enjoy this few weeks for what it is, and we'll see you all later. And thanks to everyone for the support all year.